Hi, Virgo. I see the High Priestess. This can resonate in your past, present, or future conversations that you're having synchronicity. Press like, subscribe, notification bell. With the notification bell, you can get my lives. If not, you have to wait 12 hours. Here are going to be my last reading. I created with the Virgo a Leo 20 years ago. Me and the Virgo had a child, a love child, a Leo, the little sun, the little sun. Yeah. Like, yeah, Virgo. All right, Virgo, what do I have for you? Virgo, I have the Queen of Wands and the Justice and the Three of Swords. So I see a Sagittarius right here. There's a woman right here who has her heart broken. Okay. Also, I feel like there's this woman that's talking to you about the law with the Three of Swords. There's a woman that's talking to you about the law. Okay, a conversation about the law. All right, something that happened. Could be your sister, could be your niece, could be two women, your cousin, your auntie, or something like that. There's conversations right here, or sister-in-law. There's a lot of conversation about the cops, the Four of Wands in the family, Three of Wands with friends. Okay, the Ten of Pentacles, everybody putting in their opinion. There's all kinds of conversations going on about the law. Okay. Also, you can have Libra placements with the Justice card right there. Okay. Sorry, my nose. I have really bad allergies, yo. I don't want to be high off the allergy pill until nighttime where I'm ready to go to sleep. All right. That might be significant. Someone can have allergies right here. The Nine of Stones, tradition, and at home. Okay. So I feel like there's a holiday or something that's coming up. Families coming through. They're getting together. I feel like it's a brunch with family. There's a bunch of a lot of food, a lot of plates. There's friends coming over. I feel like there's conversations though about the cost with the Three of Swords, because this specific deck, every time the Three of Swords comes out, it always reminds me of the cops, the DEA, CIA, the alphabet boys, the cops. Okay. So a conversation about it, or like legalities or something like that. Or there's a cop that's giving bad news to a family, or there's just a conversation about the law. All right. The Six of Arrows, tradition, the stove. Also, I feel like someone is in a family of law. Okay. So you could be in a family of Freemasons. You come from a family lineage of police officers here. Someone can be, or military. Okay, like your father was a military, your mother, your auntie, like this is a whole family in the military, or government officials. Also, it could be a family of doctors, la familia, pues, a family, all right, a group of people that do a certain thing, a certain trade, a certain craft. Okay. It could be your friends too. Like, cause I know I have a friend, okay, she's a Libra and she's a CO. And I know that they all hang out with each other, like the people they work with in the prison, outside of prison, they all hang out with each other. And it's like it's their own little family. They're constantly inviting each other over to do things. Oh, this weekend it's at my house, next weekend it's at yours. And it's funny because I've gone to them. I think I'm like pretty much the only civilian. Everybody else is a CO, a cop, or something. I went with my Libra last year. Oh, her birthday's coming up. I didn't get to go boating with her this year. Well, now you guys are reminding me, like, I need to go see that Libra. I might even give her a shout out here in a minute. But oh my gosh, I hate my nose. You know what else I feel like my nose is? Like what is not Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but there's the other one, Wink. Okay, and she wiggles her nose and things happen. She wiggles her nose and things happen. It's called Bewitched or something like that, the show. Yeah, because I feel like someone's like a CEO or something like that. They're with their family. They're with their work family, and they're having conversations. Of course, like when they're outside of work and you're drinking, having a good time, you're going to have conversations about things that happen at work. Or, like, because this is all legal. This is Freemasons, government officials having government talk. Queen of Swords. Yes. Yeah, I'm telling you, someone's in the law, or someone's affiliated with the law, with the Freemasons specifically, with the law. Like this person or whoever this is, they're affiliated, they're part of the family of the Freemasons, or they're under the government branch or something like that. They come, or they know a lot of important people who are happen to be Freemasons. Like it's getting a bunch of cops together, right? And they're talking about, the recent crimes and things that are happening or whatever. There's a whole conversation. There also could be a secret meetup right here where they're probably having drinks, but they're talking about something serious like that, like homicides and um, you know, community events. It could be a morning meeting if you are a government official. It's, the memo is everybody get together. It's the week of the fair weekend. Okay, look out for DUIs and stuff like that. The seven of vessels, the morning, yeah, DUIs and stuff like that. The shaman and the four stones. This is all work. Also, like homicide. They're like homicide. The seven of vessels. The reason why I say that, look, there's the skull, these recent homicides, the spike on recent homicides. 707. The Two of Swords. Something that isn't, like, I'm telling you, what is said there is kept there. But I feel like people are right there by the window and stuff. They're having a conversation and they're looking out and they're thinking about, man, it really is becoming, like, people really are dying every single day. Like, it's becoming normal. It's normal to Freemasons, depending on where you're at. Like maybe if you're in a small town, you might not see too many deaths like that. But if you're in a big city, that is normal. Like people are get used to the smell of death or coming across death. They can drink a cup of coffee while, looking at a homicide scene. Because I feel like it could be a bunch of police officers looking at a body like that. Freemasons looking at a body like that, like, well, what was the cause of death? What do you know so far? Like when you see those episodes on, excuse me, on like CSI and stuff like that, homicide investigations, and you and they're at the scene of a crime or whatever, and they're like, so what else do you know? Where did those bullets come from? There's the examiners, there's the whole team that, puts together the investigation on finding out things. Okay, who's going to question who's going to start here? The fox spirit, having to be very witty as fast as you can, as fast as you can, to get the vulture, to get the bad guys. Try to get as much as information from the scene of the crime, so they can work from there. I see someone pulling out bullets. Okay, and here's the badge. Where to begin in this case? Okay, there's the first link. There's the first evidence. It's a bullet and the body clearly, and then there's the witnesses, and then there's a person start examining the evidence that's left behind. The people that know a little bit more, that were there, the people that called 911. It's all of that. It's tough stuff being a Mason. This is what they pay you to investigate, or this is what these people do. That's their job. on the way to find out the things that other people couldn't find out. The Two of Swords, like you investigate to find out. Let me find out. Literally, someone gets paid to find out, to solve the clues all the time. Yeah, that's what they get paid for. That's what they get paid for. Let the cops do their job is what I hear. Yeah. The Fool card ain't no fool. The Three of Swords, a lot of heartbreak. Someone, like, I see someone ain't no fool. They're not drinking. I see them drinking a lot of coffee as they're looking at a body. Okay. As they're looking at a body. See, they're getting the evidence. They still haven't found who did it. But I feel like there's two people involved right here. There's two people that are about to be discovered. A part of a homicide or something like that. Like a case. There's a clue. All right. So I guess if you were a high priestess, you will actually be an investigator, right? And sometimes you don't even know when you're investigating a homicide because it comes out on your cards. It's what tells you in the future is going to happen. And so, though we know it or not, sometimes we are the ether investigators. We investigate the cheating, we investigate the injustice, we investigate, and it's a whole group of us. And they're all different. They all come in different ages, different sizes, different colors, all different backgrounds. My goodness. And some of us have the kink or that we can actually tap into those kind of things. And I will say right now, you got to be very, very careful what you're tapping into. It's called remote viewing. But this remote viewing, the CIA uses people like us to investigate foreign people, for foreign affairs. We can be used for a lot of things. But remember, once you get to level up to that, you're running in secrecy where your name might not even exist. And so if something were to happen to you, you never existed. You got to be careful into the knowledge that you're tapping into, because you might tap into something like this and then get all the attention put on you because you know something you shouldn't know. Casanova killer. It was predicted that he was going to become a serial killer. The girl that he was dating at that time that broke his heart, she had gone to see a psychic, and the psychic told her that her man will become a serial killer and to leave him. So she left him. But when she left him, she told him, "Did you know that I went and got our fortune read, and the fortune teller said that you were going to become a serial killer?" Therefore, his first act was to prove the high priestess right, because he had been, for a long time fighting the temptation to kill. And that when that was prophesied, that was the killer instinct that let him know, yes, I knew I was meant to be a killer. And he started killing people after that. And somehow, some way, a medium became famous behind a prediction of a serial killer. That's just one. I was watching because I like to watch a lot of serial killer stuff. Yeah, I'm one of those that watches that to relax. So there was another one. There was a woman that went missing. She got kidnapped by her baby daddy, and he was holding her hostage. And the medium called in, and one of her cousins, big on spirituality. She loved the tarot cards, so she went to go see her and ask her if she can find out where she was at, because they've tried to look everywhere for her. And the medium did remote viewing, told her that she was by, to go back where they were yesterday, like very specific on directions on where to go. And so they show up there. Be like one police officer, a cousin, or something like that, just very few people, and they find the killer. And, well, they find the one that abducted the cousin. and they ended up shooting him because he had shot at every, or he had, when they had found her and him, he grabbed the knife and started stabbing her, and so they shot him to death. But it was a medium. And so we don't know why sometimes our divination will lead us to investigate death or get us too close to death, where it might not even be none of our business, but spirit makes it our business because somebody's life is in danger. And if we don't pay attention to our intuition, someone can really, you know, die. This thing as prophecy can be a little bit scary sometimes. And there is certain police officers, there is certain masons that work with mediums. Anything helps when you're at a dead end. Also, they have their own mediums and they have the enemy mediums. By the way, do you know that a lot of these major top threes UN nations out here in the world use mediums, use people of divination? A lot of powerful people like to use mediums and tarot readers. When you finally pick a side, some pick a side from the very beginning, they're born into these families, born natural born masons that are empaths, that through their family they're meant to become masons, and then they become judges and stuff like that. They're natural empaths. And the same thing, people who are born out of witches, born out of healers, born out of doctors, born out of pastors and preachers and nurses, and so on, given the right passage as a sage. Which, by the way, I've only heard one person in my life that I truly respect as a high priestess, because I learned the word sage a long, 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 long time ago, before I had my son, way before I had my son. When I first heard her say that, like, I was like, she knows her shit. I loved her. Understanding what a sage really is. You become a guide to very powerful people. And it's not a joke. It's very real. People have died behind their belief in their faith. Many people have died behind their belief in their faith. A lot of prophets had died believing in what they believe in, their faith, their craft, and things of the Bible. People, many important people down in history behind their beliefs, behind their way of thought, their empires. Queen Elizabeth, she found somebody and she prophesied the death of her cousin. She died the night that she went and got this prophet, this hermit, this astrologer, this man of divination, and put him in prison. That night, she died of a disease. That night, Queen Elizabeth took reign as the queen of her land. Therefore, putting that man in a high position. We all have free will. And that by, I mean, it does not matter what position of power you have. You don't have to be into divination. Queen Elizabeth didn't have divination, but she was affiliated with someone of faith in divination. You understand me? Because it's a group. It's partnering up with someone with the yin and the yang. What you don't got, they have. What they have, you don't have. So we're working together, getting to one main goal. And it be like that sometimes. You can't take all the credit. You got to give credit where credit is due. God bless people of faith and prophecy. God bless the mediums and the healers and the shamans that do what they do for the good. Because as much as there is good, there is three times as bad. The reason there's only a few of good because only a few have been able um, to overcome the trials and tribulations that manage to get you in that position. You can't get to those positions of healing and having that much good karma without having actual trials and tribulations. You must endure the test of times. You must endure the test of patience, of temptation, of violence, of all these demons that come in the Ten Commandments. Those 10 Commandments talk about 10 demons. But I mean, maybe it's just the way that I think. It's not for everybody. It's not everybody has actually surpassed real shit in life. That's why some people can't understand it or grasp it without seeing a fucking movie where they feel like it's happening to them. Because one thing for sure, people of the mystery is not for the weak. Even if you're in the government and all that, because even in the government, there's a section for us, the X Files. The X Files. The truth is out there, and that ain't for everybody to know, because the truth is a far more stranger than the lies, way far out, and people can't handle it. They can't. That's why it's so closed off, and that's why there's only few and far apart. Shout out to the great that do great things every day. Blessings to you.